What's going on, YouTube? Mr. Wheels here, once again bringing you another episode of Sports Talk, and I'm talking NFL tonight. I was going to do some NFL videos earlier in the year, but like a preseason or a season preview, but I was doing an NHL season preview at the time, so I didn't have time, and I thought with the playoffs coming up and some big games happening today, that I would touch on the one game that I paid attention to the most, and that was the game for the NFC North Division Title between the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears at Soldier Field in Chicago. Now, I planned to watch this game from start to finish, but I actually forgot that it was on. I got busy doing other things, and I turned it on just at the start of the fourth quarter, and the Packers were down 28-20 with just under 15 minutes to go. And long story short, after converting 3 third downs, the Packers were facing a 4th and 8, and Aaron Rodgers eluded a sack attempt by Julius Peppers and found Randall Cobb wide open for a 48-yard TD pass. And even if Randall Cobb wouldn't have caught the pass, it still would have been pass interference on Jordy Nelson. This is the third. This win marks the third straight year that the Packers have clinched the NFC North Division Title. And after missing 7 weeks with a broken collarbone, Aaron Rodgers came back when the chips were down and it mattered most for his team, and led them to a victory over the Bears. And the Bears were heavily favored in this game. I think if you would listen to any sports analyst, they would say that the Bears were favored to win the NFC North. But I think, and I'm not saying the Bears don't have a good team, because they obviously do. Like, Brandon Marshall caught that TD pass to make it 28-20. And I think the one thing that the Bears were missing was Brian Urlacher, who retired last season after 13 years. I think if Urlacher would have been in that game, then the outcome could have very possibly been a different story. And obviously, I think on the other side of the ball, Aaron Rodgers was definitely the difference. With him at behind center, he can make something out of nothing. He made a lot of short passes that guys turned into first downs, even though they had to convert 3 third down attempts in the fourth quarter, in that 4th and 8 that led to the TD pass. Aaron Rodgers is just an amazing quarterback, and I think first of all, this victory makes Aaron Rodgers, his career record against the Bears is 10-3, and they will play in the playoffs next weekend. But really, I think, the Packers have had really an up and down season. And if you would have asked me at the start of the season if the Packers were going to make the playoffs, I would have said no. Because their receiving core is made up mainly of, there's a lot of rookies, or at least there was at the start of the season. And they lost their best, 2 of their best receivers from last season in Donald Driver, who retired, and Greg Jennings, they lost to free agency. So I did not expect the Packers to be the offensive juggernaut that they'd been the previous 2 years, putting up, 40 points a game, or the potential to put up that many points. But obviously they got the job done, and it wasn't without its obstacles. They tied Minnesota, and that didn't help the record. The last game they played before this one against the Bears, that was the game that Aaron Rodgers went down in Week 10, I believe that was. And obviously they still have injuries to Clay Matthews, who's a big part of their defense. But I think on the upside of things, the Packers defense is finally playing the way I think they've been capable of playing. They made some big stuff near the end of the game, just getting their hands up to deflect passes, because in this game in particular, the Bears had 3 good attempts to win the game in the dying seconds, and the defense played better. And in the last 2 seasons, their defense for the Packers has really been the Achilles heel. Eddie Lacy and James Starks, the combination of those 2 guys, again, for the previous 2 seasons, I would say that defense and the run game for the Packers would be their weakest areas. And so obviously, I think you got to say that they've improved this season. And last but not least, the big comeback, actually, before I get to that, Matt Flynn. Signing Matt Flynn when Aaron Rodgers went down, he was basically the savior of the season. The Packers would not have been in this position to win the NFC North if it wasn't for Matt Flynn and his big comeback win against Dallas. In that game against Dallas a couple weeks ago, at one point the Packers were down 29-10, and I had saw that come up I was watching a sports channel. I saw it come up on the ticker, and I said to my younger cousin, well, the Packers season is over. And sure enough, I didn't watch that game, but sure enough, they thanks to a huge fourth quarter, they came out on top 37-36, and even though they lost 38-31 to Pittsburgh last week, I think that Dallas game really set the tone for the Packers to be able to clinch the NFC North. And as for where they're going to go with the playoffs, they may be one and done. Who knows? I think there's going to be a lot of great teams in the playoffs this year, and I will do a playoff preview for the NFL definitely sometime this week. I want to let everyone know I'm going to the Winter Classic, and my next video will probably be live from the Winter Classic between the Toronto Maple Leafs and Detroit Red Wings. But as for this video, please like and subscribe, favorite it, share it, and I will see you next time.